Hi, I'm Diana Ramirez, County Administrator. Today, we're taking an in-depth look at Harris County's budget for the 2025 fiscal year. Our budget is one of the most important tools we have for ensuring that the county can continue providing essential services and support to our residents. In this video, I'll be sitting down with our Budget Director, Daniel Ramos, to discuss how the budget is developed, where our funding comes from, and how we're investing in key areas like public safety, health, and employee welfare. This is your opportunity to learn more about how we manage the county's finances and make decisions that affect every one of us. Let's dive in. Hey, Daniel. So thank you for joining me today as we talk about the budget process. I know that we want to make it a little bit clearer for county employees on how we got here. So tell us where we are in the budget right now and what went into getting us here.
Thanks, Anna, and good to be here. So where we are right now is on August 15th, we released the initial budget. It's basically the summation of all the options that we received from departments, both cuts and service enhancements, and feedback from Commissioners Court. From this point on August 27th, there'll be a discussion item for Court to continue to ask questions. Then we will have budget hearings the first week of September. The schedule for that is online. They will be streamed this year if anybody wants to watch them. And then on September 10th is really moving day for the budget. That's the day that commissioners are going to be making budget amendments, up and down for departments and to better align the budget with their priorities.
Okay, great. So we have pretty much about another month or so in the budget process. And then October 1st rolls around and we're on to the new process. So, what do you think the challenges that the counties faced as we're developing the budget process? I know every year there's something new or different that causes us some challenges.
Yeah. So a couple things, the financial picture for the county is very different than what it was, 10 years ago. The county there's a new revenue cap by the state legislature. About 80% of our budget is property taxes. We've also our criminal justice system has the costs have exploded because of the volume that they're facing. Things like having to outsource inmates, things like the cost for indigent legal representation, interpreter services, et cetera, has really limited our ability to be flexible. But we were proactive. We saw that this was coming. So we did things like, supported your office and the commissioners in developing a strategic plan. So we have some North Stars that we're working backwards from. We did a 5-year financial plan so that we knew what the track was that we were headed on, and it was bad. I think for anyone who watched that presentation, but also to have options so that we can start to course correct now before decisions start getting made for us.
No, that's great. And I think making those levers known to the Commissioners Court early is important. And so, turning over to how does this impact employees? I mean, what's the impact that they can see on their daily lives?
Sure. So there's a couple of things that are going to be near and dear to employees. The first of which is we've maintained our benefit structure. So employees that are in the Plus plan or the base plan will not see any price increases. We've also are offering a managed care option where we are providing the Plus level benefits for the base level cost, which is an exciting development for us. And then in terms of comp, I know that's pretty much every employee's number one concern. And what we're doing is rather than doing compensation by scattershot or by whack-a-mole, we're really taking a countywide approach to say for these classifications, especially the ones that are common across departments, we want to know what are you doing, what are your qualifications, your years of service, so that we can better align the compensation. So it's one, equitable across departments. It doesn't matter if you're one Department A or Department B, you're going to get paid what you're worth. And two, that we have a roadmap to be able to implement and get us closer to market.
No, that's great. And I think that'll help all the departments in being able to fill vacancies, recruit and retain qualified employees. So I think that's really great. And so on the flip side, what's the impact to the residents of Harris County and the taxpayers?
Sure. So there will be an impact to residents as folks assessments go up, their taxes are going to go up. Commissioners Court also went to made the decision to go above what's called the voter approved rate. That's the limit that the state allows for the general fund is 3.5%. For flood control and Harris Health, it's 8%. They decided to go above that 8% for flood control. There are many great reasons why they did that. Number one, I think it was staggering to me and should be staggering for all of our employees who live here in Harris County. We were replacing our infrastructure every 287 years. That is just an astronomical number that I don't think people quite realize how far behind we were. And so we're moving forward to try to get it down to 67 years, which is within a national best practice. But both residents and employees will be seeing that on their ballot in November.
Okay, great. No, I think it's important that our residents and our employees understand what we're spending their money on, and that we're being very intentional and thoughtful. And the Commissioners Court is making these hard decisions after really considering everybody's input. So can you tell me a little bit as we wind down on the town halls, the budget town halls that you've been having, and and the different commissioners have been hosting? I think that's really good. It's just our second year doing it.
Yep. So we've done 5 of them. We've done one in every commissioner precinct. It's really great to be out there and just, we know, and it's very easy in these types of jobs to get into your ivory tower to listen to the echo chamber. So it's great to hear from the average residents what their priorities are. And to answer your other question about how do we make budget, how are we making budget decisions, and how are we making the decisions that are more data driven, more informed. So we've done a couple things. One is we've broken it into the budget, not just into departments. We've broken it into programs and services. So across every department, there's a unit of work that we can measure. And we've assigned each of those programs and departments into countywide goals. And from there, we're able to measure progress. Like, for example, are we making Harris County more just and more safe? Are we improving? Are we making our infrastructure better and going to last longer? So each one of those programs has performance measures, and as part of the budget process, we ask, what are you doing? How are you doing it? How well are you doing it? And how does it align with the overall strategic plan, so that commissioners can look at that information and say, hey, this program, does align, these don't. And so we're prioritizing the things that A, work, and 2, align with Commissioner's Court vision. That's
great. And I think it'll be helpful, for next year's budget, as we're working on finalizing the initiatives for the strategic plan to take back to Commissioner's Court. The goal for OMB and OCA is to be able to help Commissioner's Court align the project outcomes from the strategic plan to the budget. So what kind of things are you going to be looking for to do there?
So one of the things that we're really excited that's going to come out of the strategic plan are initiatives, and hopefully all of these initiatives are supported unanimously across Commissioner's Court. From there, that really gives us some guiding principles, some guides to work backwards from, and make sure that when we're asked the question, should this be funded, should this not be funded, it's in the context of that overall plan, that we're not making decisions kind of in vacuums. We're making them as part of the budget process. We're making them as part of the overall strategic plan. We'll get a little bit better at this every year. This is very much a new concept for county departments. And so we've every year that I've been here, and even the years before that, we've gotten a little bit better. We've added layers of transparency into the budget, so we know how many positions we have. We know how much we're spending on these different programs. We have line item budgets that are available for commissioners to review. And so every year we'll get a little bit better at this. And every year my hope is that, we're continuing to fund the things that work, the things that reflect the strategic plan, and where, the things that don't, we'll start deprioritizing.
That's great. I really appreciate it. So there's a lot to look forward to in the coming years, and we'll be keeping you informed of the strategic planning process, and look forward to having an adopted budget next month.
Thank you.
Thanks.